Be in the know with unlimited access to IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. Our in-depth coverage of all things business means you'll always be completely in the know. Subscribe for just $1 a week. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer. Do you want to mix moments of inspiration with time to network? IBJ Media Events has you covered. From industry deep dives to awards celebrations honoring Indiana's top leaders, see what's coming up and reserve your seat now at ibj.com/register.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. After initially cutting off negotiations, the Michigan City Council on Tuesday reversed course and approved a series of large tax abatements for an $800 million data center on the city's west side. Councilor Bryant Dabney says the development will spur economic growth.
We are looking at budget shortfalls that are happening right now. When you have money that's sitting there waiting to come in and you vote that down, you lose out on these funds that are desperately needed. Then you have to start looking at cutting services for the city.
According to the city's financial analysts, the taxes generated during the 40-year abatement period will total approximately $57 million. Indiana State University kicked off the new school year with its largest freshman class in 5 years of just over 1,600 new students. Additionally, the university says it saw a freshman to sophomore retention rate of 69.4% this fall, which is a new record. Bluffton-based Almco Steel Products Corporation has broken ground on a new facility in the Wells County city. The company says the $17 million project will add space for new equipment and result in 25 new jobs over the next 3 years. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
The Collaboration Hub, a local resource for entrepreneurs in South Bend, celebrated its first anniversary Tuesday, highlighting the role it has played in helping local business owners sustain and grow their endeavors. The facility was created to provide ongoing support for graduates of the South Bend Entrepreneurship and Adversity Program, says program founder Michael Morris.
The assumption we made was this program would get these ventures to a point where the local ecosystem would take over and then help them the way they help other ventures. Not so much. That hasn't happened the way we would have liked to see it happen for, I think, a lot of reasons. The nature of these ventures, the nature of some of their struggles and challenges. And so the question became, well, then what? And out of that was born the Collaboration Hub, which is meant to be a home for those entrepreneurs who have finished the program.
The Hub offers consulting, workshops, and specialized resources such as an AI station, access to the University of Notre Dame's Hesburgh Library databases, and targeted training on platforms like QuickBooks and Canva. The Indiana Department of Transportation is expanding its Indiana Safe Zones Worksite Speed Control Pilot Program. The program, designed to reduce speeds in construction zones, will resume on I-70 in Hancock County between mile markers 105 and 109 and move to I-80-95 between mile markers 142 and 143 in Steuben County on the Indiana Toll Road beginning next week. The Safe Zones program uses truck-mounted speed timing devices to enforce speeding laws in construction zones. The program is currently being used in the Clear Path I-465, I-69 work zone on the northeast side of Indianapolis, as well as on I-65 near Lowell, though that project is slated to wrap up this month. Armed with a new infusion of capital from a recent merger, Dallas-based IT service management company DartPoints is upgrading its data center facility in Columbus as part of a new round of investment to handle larger loads from clients. CEO Scott Willis said the investment keeps the data center on the forefront of the market as clients increasingly demand larger, more complex loads as they utilize more and more AI and data.
We're going to take a facility that at its current state is really designed for mid to right at low end double digits per kW per rack. And what you're seeing in the market as we move up into the enterprise, particularly on the tailwinds of AI, and denser workloads is this facility will be deployed to support between 30 and 80 kW a rack.
The company says the upgrades will give the data center 5 to 6 times more computing power by the end of 2027. F.A. Wilhelm Construction President Pat Kenny is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand.
You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and it seems on the hour there's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years has been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So, what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.